Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Euro Baseball TV. This is going to be Game 2 of the 2019 Bundesliga Finale between the Bonn Capitals and the Heidenheim Heideköpfe. We are live from the hills of Heidenheim today. Right now, the sun is out. There are some clouds overhead. It's a bit breezy and it's very warm and humid. However, about 4 hours ago, this place was underwater, and I'm not kidding. The third baseline looked like the Nile from Google Earth, as the sand from the infield had soaked all the way out into the outfield. And I'm going to show you right now what the field looks like, and it looks like what it would have looked like had it not rained at all. The Heideköpfe really worked as hard as they could to get the water cleared from the field. There are more storms in the area, and the hope is that we can get this game in before it probably is going to rain again in, hour and a half or 2 hours. We don't know how hard it's going to rain, and of course, anybody who has lived in this part of the world for a while knows that predicting the weather with any sort of precision is a very difficult thing to do indeed, and so I'm certainly not about to try to do it. What is about to happen is that this ball game is going to start. It is 3:10 p.m. right now. They had more or less decided, at first they were deciding that it was going to start at around 4, and that was when it was an absolute downpour at about noon today. The crew chief of the four-man umpire crew, Dirk Beal, made that decision. And then as the weather got clear and sunny and we saw the progress being made on the field, it was decided that we should try to start this game even earlier. And that's why they've said 3:15, and right now it's 3:10. And it looks like we might start a few minutes before that even, as the umpires and the lineup cards are being exchanged in the umpire meeting. And I might as well tell you who those umpires are. Behind the plate calling balls and strikes will be Neil Morrison. Dirk Beal, the crew chief, is at third. Kevin Music at second base, and Alexander Wagner is at first base. The Heideköpfe are going to take the field with the following defensive alignment. The infield, Ludwig Glaser at third. Philip Schultz is at shortstop. Simon Liedke is at second base. Fernando Escara is at first. The outfield from left to right is Sean Larry, Gary Owens, and Andrew Campbell. Behind the plate doing the catching, Simon Göring, and on the mound it's going to be the 44 years young, unbelievable left-hand pitcher. He's already been a Bundesliga legend for probably the last 15 years or so. He will be taking the mound, Inorbel Marquez. And you heard me right, folks. He is 44. He's going to turn 45 in December, but you would never guess based on how he's been throwing the ball. The lineup that he's going to face for the Bonn Capitals looks like this. Eric Brink, the shortstop, leads off. Chris Goebel, the left fielder, will bat second. Wilson Lee, the first baseman, bats third. Maurice Wilhelm, the designated hitter, will bat cleanup. Daniel Lamhunt, the third baseman, bats fifth. Nick Michelli, the catcher, bats sixth. Kevin Van Mainzel in center field batting seventh. Danny Langhorst in right field batting eighth. And Adrian Stummel rounds out the lineup batting ninth. He is the second baseman. Well, yesterday, if you missed it, well, you certainly missed a lot of fireworks from the Heideköpfe bats. They scored 17 runs on 18 hits, all in the first 3 innings of the game. And it was a very lopsided 17-1 victory as Heidenheim took a 1-0 lead in this, the best-of-5 series, as they're going to desperately try to get Game 2 in today. As you see, the wind is really whipping the center field camera around. We've got 3 cameras set up for you today. In fact, actually 4. We've got the overhead shot, we have a first base shot, and we have a pitcher-catcher shot. That's just in case the center field camera blows over or gets hit by lightning. And but yesterday, the Heideköpfe pounding out 18 hits against 3 pitchers from the Bonn Capitals. Sasha Koch went 1 1/3 and just didn't have his best stuff. He was removed after 44 pitches. And you have to wonder if his long weekend, his heavy workload in games 4 and 5 against Solingen might have had some carryover effect. Remember, last Saturday, he threw over 100 pitches in Game 4 and then had to come in and pitch the final 3 innings of relief in Game 5. Or perhaps I'm confusing that. That might have been Game 3 and 4. I think that was Games 3 and 4. At any rate, he had to throw a lot of pitches with no day's rest in between. And you wonder if that had some effect on his outing yesterday, as the Heidenheim Heideköpfe are going to take the field. And the left-hander, Inorbel Marquez, is yet to take the mound as the field really looks wonderful. The sun is out, and you got to really hand it to the Heideköpfe for how hard they worked to get this field into proper playing condition. There's Mr. Marquez sauntering out of the dugout. He's going to take his position on the mound. Inorbel Marquez, 44 years of age. What did he do this year? Well, he pitched 71 in the third innings with 90 strikeouts. He only had 16 walks. And he has kept it going in the playoffs. In fact, he has a 3.8 ERA in 18 innings, 14 hits allowed, 6 earned runs, 20 strikeouts, and 6 walks. He's a guy that when he is on, he will absolutely pound the strike zone and throw strike after strike after strike. He works very quickly. You see he works from the left side, and he's got sort of an open delivery. He really opens up that right shoulder and whips that ball around the corner, and he's got nasty movement on his pitches and impeccable control, and he also just knows what he's doing out there. And so the Bonn Capitals will try to rebound from a poor performance yesterday. They only had 3 hits in the game yesterday. The best offensive performance for the Capitals came from Kevin Van Meetsel, who had 2 hits. And so Eric Brink is going to step up to the plate now. He was 0 for 3 yesterday, struck out, flied out, and grounded out. As we are about ready to begin here in Heidenheim. My name is Tim Collins. I hope you're enjoying your afternoon wherever you are. Feel free to join me in the YouTube chat as the Heidenheim fans are back with all the noisemakers, all the drums, and for the Bonn Capitals, they would love a do-over, and that's exactly what they're going to have a chance to do as Eric Brink steps up to the plate against Inorbel Marquez. Left-hander works from the full windup, and the first pitch of the game coming right now, and that's in there for strike 1. Brink during the regular season, a .279 batting average. Right-hand hitter. He does have occasional power, but he's more of a doubles gap type guy. The pitch, there's a slow chopper left side. Schultz has to charge and glove and throw on the run, and he does it perfectly. 2 pitches and 1 out. And that's what Marquez will do. He's got such great movement on his pitches. You might see a pitch coming in that looks hittable, and then it just fades away, and you can't get good wood on it. And so there's 1 down. That'll bring up Chris Goebel. Top of the first, nobody on base, 1 out. The pitch. That's a strike on the inside corner. Nope, excuse me, it's a ball. No indication from home plate umpire Neil Morrison, so the pitch is ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Marquez comes back to Goebel. Here it comes. And that one is also just off the inside corner, 2-0. Wind picks up a little bit more. This ball hit in the air to right field and deep, and back goes Sean Larry, and it's off his glove and up against the wall. Chris Goebel is going to be at second base with the double that you didn't see because the camera blew over as the tent blew over off of my head. So that's a double. And thank you to the folks who are helping me here. Now that's one for the instant replay. That's the type of day it's been. You haven't even seen the half of it, folks. The game just started, and already the tent blew away. This is the second tent I've had. The first one kept deflating on me. So Goebel at second base. The Bonn Capitals with a threat as Wilson Lee steps up to the plate. And the pitch is up and in, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes on Wilson Lee. And the pitch, swing and a miss. He was out in front. There's 1 out, runner on second base. Chris Goebel is out there on second. Boy, how huge would it be if he could score and give the Bonn Capitals a lead here? After the day they had yesterday, the 1-1 pitch, and a fastball, a little bit too high. 2 balls and a strike. Well, the wind has really picked up, even though the weather is a little bit more balmy now than it was before. 2 balls and a strike on Wilson Lee. And a check on the runner at second. The pitch, a curve, and he swung and fouled it back. That was a pretty hefty cut.
Give him a hand.
2 balls, 2 strikes to count on Wilson Lee. Goebel, the runner at second base. One out, and the pitch. Inside, just off the plate. You can see Lee was kind of diving out over, looking for something to extend his arms on. And that pitch rode in under his hands, but missed the target. So Marquez with a full count now. And the pitch swung on and fouled to the plate. That went off the leg of Lee. And the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Full count.
No score. We're in the top of the first inning, just getting started. We started at about 3:13, hour and 13 minutes later than originally planned. The payoff pitch, a ground ball to the left side. Schultz fields from the hole. The long throw is in time. Goebel had to stay put at second base. And there are 2 down. And now Maurice Wilhelm will step up to the plate. Wilhelm, who during the regular season batted .333, he had 2 home runs. That's 32 hits and 96 at bats. That's exactly .333. OPS of just under 1,000. He's been a very productive player, both as a hitter and a pitcher for them, and he's their joker card, I guess you could say. The pitch, swing and a miss. Threw it right by him, strike 1. Wilhelm does not get cheated up there, that is for sure. No score, 2 outs. Runner on second base is Chris Goebel. We are in the top of the first inning. And Marquez checks on Goebel. Infield backs up. The pitch swung on and missed. Well, he blew a fastball by him, and then he tantalized him with a breaking ball or some sort of off-speed pitch. Count 0-2. Here it comes. As a fly ball, that's punched foul out of play off to the right. That will land over near the children's area. In fact, it goes on top of the protective net. There's usually a bunch of children over there playing some version of wiffle ball or perhaps jumping in a trampoline. And that's why they have a net over there. So the count still no balls, 2 strikes. There are 2 outs. Big pitch coming. Runner at second base is Chris Goebel. And the pitch to Wilhelm. Swung on and fouled at the plate. He stays alive. That one he just chopped into the dirt. The sun is out. It's heating up quite a bit. It's still very humid here in Heidenheim. And you would not believe we are playing if you saw how much rain we had here earlier today. No balls and 2 strikes from Marquez to Wilhelm. The pitch just missed inside. Wilhelm was diving way out over the plate. He was expecting something away from him, and he got one under his hands. One ball, 2 strikes on Wilhelm. The pitch. And it just missed inside, and Marquez not pleased. Take another look at this pitch on the replay. Tailed a little bit. And now Wilhelm has worked an even count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Goebel, the runner at second base. No score, top of the first. And the pitch from Marquez. Swung on and tapped slowly again to the shortstop Schultz. He gloves, sets his feet, and throws out Wilhelm. Philip Schultz with all 3 assists. And the inning is over. The double is squandered. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left on base. At the end of a half inning of play here in Heidenheim, no score. This is Game 2 of the 2019 Bundesliga Finale live on Eurobaseball TV. We are back for the bottom of the first inning, and in your screen is the left-hander from San Antonio, outside of San Antonio, Texas, Zack Dodson. Dotson, who recently turned 29, in fact, last week on July 23rd. He is a former fourth-round Pirates draft pick back in 2009, made it as high as AA in 2015, and he had a very successful season this year with the Bonn Capitals, and he pitched in a lot of tough luck in the playoffs. He has 2 complete games in the playoffs, and he lost both of them by a score of 1-0. So we are back, and I'll give you the starting lineup as we go for the Heidenheim Heideköpfe. The first pitch to Philip Schultz is a strike, and Zack Dodson, I was telling you about his playoff luck, which was not good. There's a little fly ball, shallow center field, and it drops in front of Van Mainzel, who didn't get a great read. And so Philip Schultz starts off the ball game with a single. As that ball dropped in front of Van Mainzel, it's a leadoff single. Still dealing with a few last-minute technical issues here, so I apologize for the interruptions of the commentary. As that ball fell down in front of Van Mainzel, so Philip Schultz is the runner on first base. There you see his lead being held on by Wilson Lee. And the hitter now, Simon Göring, against Zack Dodson. And the pitch is a ball. That time, Philip Schultz was actually headed back to first base when Dodson delivered the pitch. Defensively behind Dodson, you have the same defensive alignment as yesterday. Lamphunt at third, Brink at second. The pitch, that's high and inside 2-0. The second, Brink is at short. The second baseman is Adi Stummel. First baseman, Wilson Lee. Outfield from left to right is Goebel, Van Mainzel, and Lankhorst. Nick Michelli doing the catching. 2-0 on Göring. And the pitch on the way. That is on the inside corner, strike one. 2 balls and a strike. For the Heideköpfe, for their lineup, Schultz, Göring, and Owens, 1, 2, 3. Campbell, Glaser, and Larry, 4, 5, 6. Escara, Eli Gentner, the designated hitter again, and Simon Liedke. So it's exactly the same as yesterday. Both teams with the exact same lineup with the exception of the starting pitchers. Runner on first base is Philip Schultz. 2 balls and a strike, and there's a throw over to first, and Schultz is back. Now, Schultz has not had a great read on Dodson's move. The left-hander, during the regular season, had a 3.38 ERA in just around 96 innings pitched. He struck out 127. And the pitch, Göring slaps it foul. That one almost got a piece of Owens in the on-deck circle. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Schultz, I think, was maybe going to take off on that, and he just didn't get a great read. That might have been a hit and run, and Schultz just couldn't get a jump. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count, nobody out. Philip Schultz on first base. Zack Dodson dealing with Simon Göring. And the pitch. That's a fly ball to right field. Lankhorst drifting over. He is there to make the catch, and Philip Schultz has to retreat. So Göring is retired for out number 1. And that will bring up Gary Owens. Gary Owens had himself a pretty good day yesterday. 2 for 5 with 2 runs scored and 3 runs driven in, including a 2-run home run, which, putting together all of his play this year, playoffs and regular season, was his 10th of the season. Gary Owens hit everything to the opposite field yesterday. It'll be interesting to see what he does against Dodson. There you see Schultz taking his lead, and the pitch. That's a good curve in there for a strike, 0-1. I was about to tell you about Dodson's bad luck in the playoffs. He pitched 2 complete games with 14 strikeouts each and lost both of them 1-0. One to Regensburg and one to Solingen. There's the 0-1 to Owens, and it misses low and outside, 1-1. He's a left-hander. He throws pretty hard. An old scouting report of his mentioned that his fastball can touch the 90s. Wearing the stirrup socks today for the Bonn Capitals. The 1-1 pitch coming to Gary Owens. Schultz not going, and the pitch, Schultz with a late break, and now the throw to second, and he is out. Schultz just could not time the move of Zack Dodson, and he got a very, very late break on that, and he is thrown out trying to steal. That's the second out of the inning. Good throw by Nick Michelli. The pitch was just inside for a ball. The count is 2 balls and a strike. And so Owens up there, and he swings and misses for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. And Dotson trying to pitch a scoreless first inning. Left-hander hiding behind his glove, has the sign from Michelli, and now he deals, and that is on the outside corner. Strike 3 is called, and Dotson with a very good start gets around the leadoff single. And we go to the second inning, no score here in Heidenheim. This is the 2019 Bundesliga Finale live on Eurobaseball TV. We go to the top of the second inning here in Heidenheim. Inorbel Marquez back out there on the hill, gave up a double but nothing else in the first inning, and he's going to deal with 5, 6, and 7. Daniel Lamhunt, Nick Michelli, and Kevin Van Mainsel. Marquez, veteran left-hander, taking his time as you hear the Solingen fans beat the drum, and Lamhunt swings through the first pitch, strike 1. Nothing in 1 on Daniel Lamhunt, right-hand hitter with power, and the pitch. That one is inside and low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Lamhunt during the regular year batted .409, 38 hits and 93 at-bats. He did hit 5 home runs. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Here's the pitch. A little flare off the end of the bat, and it lands in right center field over the head of Simon Liedke, the second baseman. And Daniel Lamhunt is aboard with a single. Didn't hit it hard, but he hit it right to the right spot. Let's take a look at the pitch from Marquez. Maybe a changeup or something. It was dropping down and away, and Lamhunt served it into right center field. So now Nick Michelli with Lamhunt on first base. It's a battle of lefties today. Zack Dodson versus Inorbel Marquez. Nick Michelli, yesterday's game was 1 for 2. The pitch, he squares to bunt, and the pitch gets away from Goering. However, Lamhunt stays put. It did not get very far away from Simon, and Goering popped out of his crouch very quickly. Ball 1, the count to Nick Michelli. Michelli during the regular season, .256 hitter. Only 4 extra base hits out of his 20 that he had in 78 at-bats. Runner on first base, Lamb Hunt, and Michelli bunts at it, and he bunts it foul.
Versuch. Steht an, aber geht es Foul Territory, also nicht ins Spielfeld. Mit der Count ein Ball, ein Strike.
1 ball and 1 strike the count to Nick Michelli. Well, let's see if the wind is wreaking havoc on the center field camera. There's a tarp over the lens in case you're wondering. The pitch, he squares to bunt and he lays it down, a very good one, fielded by Ascara, who shovels it to Liedke. They get the out. Lamb Hunt moves to second base on the sacrifice. So Michelli is out number 1. The play goes 3-4 rather. And that'll bring up Kevin Van Mainzel. Van Mainzel had the best day of anybody yesterday offensively. 2 for 3 with a home run for the Bonn Capitals. Yeah, that's good. The bag has blown itself out of the way of the center field camera again. Who needs an assistant when you have the wind? Runner on second base is Daniel Lamb Hunt. This is the 2nd consecutive inning they've had a runner at second, and the pitch is swung on and missed by Van Mainzel, strike 1. The Heideköpfe have a lot of pitching depth in today's game. They have everybody. Logan Grigsby, Justin Erasmus, Pete Sakaris. Patrick Zeifried is there. Giroud is there. There's a swing and a miss, strike 2. A little dead fish changeup. Dropping down on the way from Kevin Van Mainzel, who steps out to adjust his batter's gloves for a minute. Daniel Lamb Hunt is on second base. There is 1 out in the inning. The Capitals electing to bunt him there to try to gamble on a base hit and a possible 1-run lead. Here's the pitch. Van Mainzel takes a ball just outside. Marquez trying to expand the zone and get Van Mainzel to swing at his pitch. And Kevin, to his credit, did not do so. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner on second base, Daniel Lamb Hunt. And the pitch from Marquez. Swing and a miss, he got him. Well, that's the off-speed pitch that Marquez can use with reckless abandon. He's so good at changing speeds, and his delivery is very deceptive. Van Mainzel was about 15 minutes too early for that bus, and now 2 down, and Danny Lankhorst will step up to the plate. The pitch. Lankhorst chops it foul just outside of the home plate area, strike 1. You're going to see a lot of weak contact against Inorbel Marquez when he's on. He does not leave anything out over the center of the plate. Yeah, if you're wondering why the center field camera is blowing around, it's because I have a choice. I have a choice between letting it get soaked in rain or putting a bag over it. And I've elected to put a bag over it, and when the bag is over it, it blows in the wind. The pitch is swung on and missed, also because of the fact that it's zoomed in so much that even the slightest movement looks like an earthquake from the center field camera. So there's really, even if somebody's holding it, you would probably see even more movement if somebody's holding it. So I apologize, but there ain't nothing I can do. The pitch is high, and they count 1 ball and 2 strikes. In case you're wondering, this is a one-man show. I'm doing everything myself. I'm switching all the cameras. I'm running the replay. I'm putting the graphics up. I have nobody helping me. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on second base. The pitch to Lankhorst. There's a ground ball slowly hit to the right side. Liedke to his right to a knee, fields and throws to first in time. And that will end the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left for the 2nd consecutive inning. Bonn Capitals do not score. We go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. No score. This is Game 2 of the 2019 Bundesliga Finale live on Eurobaseball TV. So we go to the bottom of the second inning. Zack Dodson allowed a leadoff single, but then the caught stealing allowed him to get through the first inning, facing only 3 batters, and he will face 4, 5, and 6 Andrew Campbell, Ludwig Glaser, and Sean Larry. No score, bottom of the second, the first pitch, and that's in there on the outside corner, 0-1. And Dotson working quickly. The pitch is high and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Campbell, of course, 27 years of age, native Australian. He's a longtime star for the Brisbane Bandits, and he takes strike 2 over the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Dotson, who barely leaves the vicinity of the pitching rubber. A few darker clouds have begun to form over the left field area again. Here's the 1-2. And that one is low in the dirt, scooped by Michelli, or at least blocked. Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Bottom of the second, no score. Game 2 of the 2019 finale. And the pitch from Dodson. A slow chopper to the right side on a couple of bounces to Wilson Lee, and one Australian puts out the other at first base. 3 unassisted, 1 away. Ludwig Glaser will step up to the plate now. Glaser during the regular year batted .309. He had a home run, 29 hits in 94 at-bats. Yesterday, he had a bases-clearing 3-run double. One of his 3 hits in 5 at-bats. And the pitch from Dodson. That's a fastball off the plate away, 1 ball, no strikes. And the 1-0. Popped foul off the end of the bat. That's going to get up into the meadow. I see a kid in a green T-shirt running after it. The ball takes a bounce and goes into the play area. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here in Heidenheim, the seating directly behind home plate, those are the blue seats that you see in your picture right now. But off to the first base side, as the pitch is high and outside, 2 balls and a strike. There's a big hill, and a lot of folks elect to sit on top of the hill in lawn chairs underneath umbrellas. That's also where the concessions are. The 2-1 pitch. Glaser pops it up, foul territory behind the plate. Wilson Lee gives it a look, but that ball lands in the Heidenheim bullpen. That was about a meter out of Wilson Lee's reach. Strike 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The dimensions here in Heidenheim, down the left field line, 98 meters. That's 322 feet. Center field is a bit shorter, 120 meters. That's 394 feet. Down the right field line, also it's symmetrical with left field. 2-2, the count to Ludwig Glaser. And here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss, he got him. Glaser chasing a pitch down and away. Dodson looking pretty tough so far in the early going.
And
that will bring up Sean Larry, left-hand hitter, lefty against lefty. Larry in yesterday's ball game was 2 for 3. And Dodson starts to wind the pitch. Larry taking all the way, and the fastball is inside and high, ball 1. Dodson lost the handle on the ball on the return throw from Michelli, rather. No score. We are in the bottom of the second inning of game 2. Trying to get this one in as much as possible before the rains return. And the pitch is a strike on the outside corner from Dodson. 1 ball, 1 strike. Of course, no one wants to see a shortened game. One ball and 1 strike to count. Here it comes. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Just very quickly. One ball, 2 strikes. With 2 outs, and here it comes. That's inside, and he hooked it and lines it down the right field side foul. That was a little breaking ball. And it sort of floated on the inside part of the plate. Larry was able to wait on it just long enough to make contact, and he was still out in front. One ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. Fouled away again.
Und wir möchten ganz kurz noch sagen, HDH KW 100, das Auto soll bitte weggeparkt werden, es ist in der Feuerwehrzufahrt. HDH KW 100.
One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the pitch to Larry. Fastball is high. Dotson gave up a leadoff single to Philip Schultz to start the game. Schultz was later caught stealing as Dotson proves to have a pretty deceptive move from the stretch. There's the 2-2 to Larry, and he just stays alive. Larry is trying to hang tough, and he steps out of the box to think about it for a moment. You hear the raucous cacophony of sound behind here in Heidenheim. Two balls, 2 strikes. And here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, he got him. Zack Dodson with 3 strikeouts through the first 2 innings. Nothing across the board for Heidenheim. We will go to the 3rd scoreless here in Game 3 of the 2019 Bundesliga Finale, live on Eurobaseball TV. We go to the top of the 3rd inning, no score in Game 2 of the 2019 Bundesliga Finale. Adrian Stumbel steps up and takes the ball from Inorbel Marquez, 9-1-2 for the Bonn Capitals. And I have a special guest for you all. I am joined by the newly appointed national team coach of Germany, former national team coach of the Netherlands, Steve Jensen. Steve Jensen, how you doing? Try that again.
Fine, how are you doing?
Oh
today?
yeah, we hear you now. I am doing very well. The pitch was low, and there's a ground ball to the right side. Liedke fields it from a knee, throws to first, and gets Stummel 1 down. So, Mr. Jensen, welcome to Germany. Obviously, you're no stranger to European baseball. You've been coaching for a long time, played in Belgium, played in Czech Republic, in Netherlands rather, and coaching with the Cubs organization. What is your vision for this upcoming European Championship with the German national team?
Well, it's going to be very interesting, especially our group, our bracket, with teams like the Netherlands, Sweden, Great Britain, which I hear are bringing some U.S. players and Canadian players. Obviously, Israel, they qualified yesterday, beating Lithuania in the qualifier. That's going to be interesting because I'm hearing rumors there's like 24 minor league passports waiting to come over. And obviously the Czech Republic, so it's going to be a tough bracket.
I've always felt that whenever the team, anything that can be done to raise the level of baseball is good, because then you have something that is really great to present and show that the European Championships are a very exciting tournament, and it's high-level baseball, and a lot of drama can be had. Obviously you saw the last couple of years coaching with the Netherlands as Eric Brink strikes out on a fastball. That's the 2nd out of the inning. How much you're responsible with the U23 team in Germany, and how much have you gotten to work with them thus far this summer?
Well, it's funny bringing that up. We're going to start our trainings camp tomorrow in Regensburg in preparation of the U23 European Championships, which is going to be in Prague and starting August 7th. So we're going to have about 10 days to get ready with the guys. Obviously, I've seen a lot of the guys during the season playing in their different teams. Fortunate enough, we were able to go spring training to Tenerife with the big group, combination of national team players and U23, which gave us a pretty good depth view on what we have. And yeah, really looking forward to that because I really think we can do something special with the under-23. We got a very, very talented group right there.
Marquez barehands this comebacker and throws to first in time to get Goebel. It's a 1-2-3 inning, but we can stick around and keep chatting in between. Let me just sum up the totals here. Nothing across the board for the Bonn Capitals. They go 1-2-3 as Marquez broke the bat of Chris Goebel on that last play. We're going to the bottom of the third inning here in Heidenheim. And yeah, once again, I'm visiting with Steve Jensen, the head coach of the German national team. What do you think is currently one of the greatest strengths of especially the U23 team, and obviously that would bode well for the future of the national team, but do you see any particular areas where Germany has really improved in the last 5-6 years?
Well, I think that if you just look back the last couple of years, what Germany has been done with on the youth level, I mean, winning back-to-back U15 European Championships. You don't do that if you don't do something right. I mean, obviously there's a lot of talent in the country. The only thing we have to see right now is in the future to keep that talent on growing, and not that they're like been in the past where talent comes up to like 18, 19, yet 20 years old and then kind of like hit the ceiling. So that's something we have to look for in the future and try to get much more quality baseball games, because that's about it. I mean, see as much quality pitching as possible and get those guys ready in the Bundesliga as fast as they can and play a good level of baseball.
Do you feel, as having worked with the Cubs organization this past summer as a pitching coach, what kind of specific situational knowledge do you think you can transplant from that experience and try to impart onto the young baseball players here in Germany?
Well, you know, even being in a Major League Baseball organization, it's still the same thing. I mean, obviously, it's the same game. The biggest difference is the amount of potential talent they have. Big thing we got to work on, and we try to work on. Big thing is the belief in yourself. I mean, you have to have respect for what other countries did in the past. But you know what? You're not gonna win ball games with that respect and what you did in the past. It's what you do today, and just believe in yourself and that type of stuff. Work on the mental side, because I really think that's a big part where we can make a huge step forward. The believing in yourself and being able to compete at that level.
Yeah, I've always thought that it makes such a huge difference just for especially young kids like the U12s even, or the U15s, when they get to travel to a big tournament and take part. You know, there's a player for the Heideköpfe, Elian Gentner, 17 years old, and he played in the Pony League World Series a couple years ago and threw a no-hitter in the U.S. And I imagine something like that. It's just these things like, hey, you get that experience and suddenly you think, hey, we can do this. We can be just as good as anybody else. As Iskara takes strike 3, that's the first out in the inning here.
Yeah, you know, that's what it's all about. I mean, we had in the early 2000s, we had the same thing going on in the Netherlands when we had to play the Cubans. I mean, till that one day you beat them, and then you start to believe that you can do it. And since then, I mean, I think we played them, I don't know, 15, 20 times, and I think we're in that thing. We're 15-5 against them, something like that. So it's just about the belief. You only have to do one time where you have to do something special, and then everything can go on the same train, and the train is rolling.
Yeah, I mean, the last European Championship back in 2016, Germany beat Czech Republic, which is another team that they've had trouble with. By the way, this is Elian Gentner at the plate, the person who we were just speaking about. He's got a 2-1 count. There's one out. We're in the bottom of the third inning, no score. And some other historic near misses. There's the game against Nicaragua in the World Baseball Classic qualifier where Germany had the lead and gave it up in the ninth inning. And you know, games like that where you come so close and then just can't quite close the door, they're still confidence builders as Gentner strikes out. That's 4 consecutive strikeouts for Zack Dodson, who is looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, you're only going to start winning those type of games if you've been there. You know what it takes to win those games. You know how it feels to be in that situation, to get on the plate in that last inning, or get a pitcher striking out the guy or whatever, or take something back, get a ground ball, a routine ground ball. That's it. I mean, I always say also winning you have to learn. And the more you play games at that level, the more you get in that situation, the more it's going to get a routine, and you're going to be able to get the game on your side at that stage.
Well, you're able to watch a whole bunch of the national team players in this series right here as Simon Liedtke fouls one back to the screen. You have Maurice Wilhelm. You have, well, let's see. Now I'm going to name them all, and I'm going to leave somebody out. Maurice Wilhelm, of course. Chris Goebel was in the national team for a while. Max Schmitz, hopefully if his arm will hold up. And Vinny Arons, I believe, has also suffered an injury. There's a ground ball to the first baseman, Lee, who flips it to Dotson to get Liedtke. And then, of course, the Heideköpfe, you have Sean Larry and Simon Göring. And there's quite a few of national team players in the house right now, and so you get to watch them. Any final thoughts on getting to watch this series with them right here?
Well, I mean, so especially these type of games, it's always fun to watch. I mean, playing for the championship, it's always a different intent than a regular Bundesliga game. It's always nice to see a lot of potential players on the field. You named a couple, but I still have a couple others in my pocket.
I know there's a bunch more. And, you know, I don't want to leave anybody out, so I probably should have just not even started. Well, and also, there's also probably decisions still to be made, which I have no knowledge, so I'm not giving away anything.
No, the thing is, we're fortunate enough that we're going to have almost 3 weeks with the players together because the Bundesliga is going to be done. And we were able to manage just because the Japanese people did a great offer for us, because otherwise we would never be able to do it. But we're going on a camp, a 2-week camp to Japan with the national team. I mean, that 20 out of 28, 25 men for the 28-man roster has been set for that. Players know that. That will be communicated, I think, pretty soon. So, and then, yeah, from there we're going to obviously add a couple guys and then make the final roster for the Europeans.
Well, great. I thank you very much for joining me in the booth, and I don't want to take too much of your time. So you're welcome to do color commentary if you want.
Whatever you want. I mean, I'm here anyway.
All right. Well, Inorbel Marquez is working on Wilson Lee. We are in the top of the fourth of a scoreless ball game, a battle of left-handers. And the Australian Lee takes a pitch inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wilson Lee is 0 for 1 today. And what do you think about Inorbel Marquez? You definitely know him, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy you can build on. I mean, it's unbelievable the things he's still putting up there. I mean, he's not getting any younger. I'm not going to use the word old, but
no.
He's still doing it. I mean, what he's been doing for his team again this past year has been terrific. I mean, winning the throwing the final against Brno for winning the Euro Cup. I mean, it's great. It's great. It's a great example for all German youth baseball players.
Pitch to Maurice Wilhelm is inside. 1 ball and no strikes. So 3, 4, and 5. Wilson Lee just singled up the middle. Maurice Wilhelm, who's 0 for 1, he grounded out. After Wilhelm, it's Daniel Lamb Hunt. So the left-hander Marquez. We'll see if Lee is going to try to do any running. I kind of doubt it. Marquez also has a pretty good move over there, and Lee's not a base stealer per se. But Bonn has been somewhat desperate to get runs as Wilhelm swings through a pitch. 1 ball, no strikes. The Capitals have had runners on second base in each of the first 2 innings and could not score. Wilson Lee, a leadoff single. Back in the second, Lamb Hunt with a leadoff single, and they bunted him to second, and then Marquez said, no, sir. So he's got a 1-1 count on Maurice Wilhelm. The lights are on now here in the ballpark. The pitch swung on and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wilson Lee off first base. There you see him taking his lead. Very short one. 2 strikes on Wilhelm, obviously not bunting. He's the one guy you're not going to see bunting in this lineup. He's their home run hitter. And he fouls one off the fists back to the screen, still 1-2. Well, there were reports that more rain would come in the area right around now. The skies are getting darker, but so far the really dark clouds don't appear to be over the field. So the hope is that they'll somehow just miss us.
Well, that was my main reason to stay in the booth.
Yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Lee off first, not going. The pitch is high a little bit. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Marquez, I think, not pleased with the call. We've got a good one here brewing. Quite the contrast to yesterday. Heidenheim leads the best-of-5 series 1-0. The 2-2 pitch to Wilhelm, and instead a pickoff throw. And Lee dives back. I'll take another look at the move of Inorbel Marquez. He actually removed that back foot from the rubber as he was thrown over there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes. And it's just a little bit high. Full count to Wilhelm. Wilhelm, I think, was fooled on the pitch and got a break that it was out of the strike zone. You hear the uptick in sound from the competing fan bases of Bonn and Heidenheim. Everybody brought a drum today, it seems like. Full count pitch, runner does not go, and this ball hit off the fists to the shortstop, Philip Schultz, who makes the catch on the fly. A little humpback line drive, that's the first out, so Marquez wins the battle with Maurice Wilhelm, and that'll bring up Daniel Lamb-Hunt.
Yeah, the Bonn hitter seems like having trouble to square up with the pitches from Eno, so that says he's doing a pretty good job out there.
I think his pitches have a lot of late movement, and they're just hard to square up.
Yeah, I mean, through the years he became a different pitcher. Obviously, he didn't have the fastball anymore he used to have, so he made an adjustment on that.
There's the pitch to Lamb-Hunt, and he slaps it on the ground past the first baseman, Escara, into right field. Lee takes the turn and heads to third base. And the throw gets away, and now Lee is coming to the plate, and he's going to score. The throw also gets past Glaser. Bonn takes the lead 1-0. That's going to be a base hit and an error on possibly Liedtke. Not sure who the error is going to go to there, but could also go on the right fielder, Andrew Campbell. Bonn leads 1-0. Lee had stopped at third base. Let's take a look at this on the replay. It was an inside-out swing, got past the first baseman, Escara, and the throw came in, and it short-hopped Philip Schultz, the shortstop, and then once it got past him, there was nobody backing up, and Lee hustled home to the plate, and Bonn leads 1-0. That's got to feel good for the Capitals. They have another run out on second base. No RBI in the play as the pitch is low and inside to Michelli. 1 ball and no strikes. Lamb-Hunt out at second base. He's 2 for 2 now with 2 singles. The pitch, swing and a miss. Michelli with a 1-1 count now. Well, after a game like yesterday's, that really could only be described as a massacre, to come out and have a tight game and take a 1-0 lead, that's got to feel very good for the Bonn Capitals. There's a fly ball to right field. Campbell has it lined up. He makes the catch. That's out number 2. Daniel Lamb-Hunt stays put at second base. That pitch, I think, was in on the hands of Michelli, and he couldn't quite get the barrel of the bat through the zone. And that'll bring up Kevin Van Meensel. Van Meensel, who homered yesterday. That was in the in the 7th inning off of Logan Grigsby. Van Meensel, 24 years of age. He had some very big hits in last year's finale. And the pitch is low and in the dirt. Good block by Goering. Lamb-Hunt has to get back to second base. 1 ball, no strikes. Marquez has not walked anybody, but he has been unable to paint the corners the way he usually wants to. He's had a lot of close pitches that didn't get the call. in this game. 1 ball, no strikes. That ball ripped, but it's fouled on the third baseline. Van Meensel was right on that one. Ball game started at about 3:13 in the afternoon, an hour and 13 minutes after it was scheduled to start. We had a torrential downpour this morning, and frankly, it's amazing that we're playing at all. So far, it's been an entertaining ball game. Marquez wants a new baseball, and he's going to get one.
Yeah, I must say that the people of Heidenheim did a terrific job on getting the field ready. Even I saw wives of players driving the fields. Fantastic.
Yeah, they really did. The pitch is squibbed off the end of the bat, foul off to the right. That's strike 2. 1-2 on Van Meensel, who was way out in front of that pitch. It's 1-0 Bonn. We are in the top of the 4th inning. And Goering wants to ask for time, but he's just going to hold his spot. The pitch, swung on and missed. You don't see that too often. Inorbel Marquez simply ignored him, stared at the runner on second base, and then got the strikeout anyway. So the Bonn Capitals, they do get a run. A run on 2 hits. There was an error. And there was 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's Bonn 1, Heidenheim nothing. This is Game 2 of the Bundesliga Finale, live on Eurobaseball TV. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning here in Heidenheim. 1-0 the Bonn Capitals, and they have given Zack Dodson a run. That is something that they had not done in his previous 18 innings. He's thrown 44 pitches, 29 of them for strikes. And let the noise-making begin as Philip Schultz steps up to the plate. It's the top of the order, Schultz, Goering, and Owens. Second time through the lineup against the lefty. And the fastball is high, ball 1. Schultz singled and then was caught stealing. He is 1 for 1. Switch hitter batting from the right side. And time is asked for and received by Schultz. Schultz, in the regular season, batted .253 in 83 at-bats. And the pitch is low. 2-0, and the next one from Dotson is in there for a strike at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike. Schultz, a guy who started off the game yesterday with a bunt single, and Simon Goering followed suit, and the Heideköpfe took it from there and ran, winning by a score of 17-1. As the 2-1 pitch is chopped down the third base line, foul. Ekla trying to kick it fair. And the count even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he's really attacking the strike zone today, working both sides of the plate pretty good and keeping it off balance. Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job up till now.
Now, Zack Dodson, a guy who idolized 2 very, very hard-nosed players, Roger Clemens and Pete Rose, when he was growing up. I'd say if you're a pitcher, Roger Clemens is not a bad role model to model your pitching style after. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. And you know something? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive strikeouts for Zack Dodson. 7 in total. So he's got it cooking today so far. 1 down, and Simon Göring, who's just about as tough as a hitter as there is to strike out, is going to step up to the plate. Göring, in 99 at-bats, struck out 11 times. And he hits a ground ball to the shortstop, Brink, who throws to first in time. Very quick out. Definitely not a strikeout from Simon. He's one of those guys you can do almost anything with. You can hit and run. You can also bat him clean up and hope he bangs it out of the ballpark.
Yeah, he's like we said earlier about Eino on the pitching side. Simon is like a role model from a position player standpoint. I mean, obviously he's doing through all the years done a lot for German baseball, but still playing the game and competing with the same dedication like he did like 10, 15, 20 years ago.
The pitch was a strike to Gary Owens, who's stepping up there, and the 0-1 on its way. That is a fastball high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Gary Owens struck out his first time, struck out looking on a backdoor slider or cutter possibly. A 1-1 pitch from Dotson. There's a breaking ball hit on the ground on the right side, stabbed by Lee. He's going to flip it to Dotson, who wins the foot race to the bag. And Zack Dodson has retired the last 10 batters, in fact 11 batters he's faced since the caught stealing in the first inning. A perfect 4th inning for Zack, and we will go to the top of the 5th inning. It's 1-0 Bonn. This is Game 2 of the Bundesliga Finale live on Eurobaseball TV. Well, we go to the top of the 5th inning. Norbel Marquez, who has thrown 62 pitches, 42 of them are strikes. And he's going to deal with 8, 9, and 1. Danny Lankhorst, Adrian Stummel, and then Eric Brink. Bonn 1, Heidenheim 0. And you better believe that Zack Dodson is pitching with the intent of not allowing a tying run to score. The first pitch was low, and now the second one is fouled back. 1 ball and 1 strike on Danny Lankhorst. It was an honor to be joined by the coach, Steve Jensen, of the German national team. Steve has gone back to join the ranks of the fans. The pitch is inside, 2 balls and 1 strike, so I'd like to thank him publicly. I apologize, I forgot to do that with him on the air. This is all a work in progress, folks. 2 balls and a strike, the pitch. That ball hit on the ground to the shortstop, Schultz, a few steps to his left. His throw is high, and it's over Escara. And that's going to put Lankhorst on first base, an E6. Now the Heideköpfe have made, well, according to the scoreboard in center field, 3 errors, but the official scoring is only 2. And that is correct. Remember, there was the error last inning that scored, and the run, in fact, for Bonn is an unearned run. The run scored when Daniel M. Hunt singled, Wilson Lee went to third, and then the throw to the infield got away, and Lee scored. That run, there was a fly ball to right field after that. I suppose maybe you could think it might have been deep enough to score the run, but the official scorer did not think so. There's a pickoff attempt on Lankhorst at first base. Lankhorst might try to run here. In the regular season, he was only 2 out of 3 in stolen base attempts, however. And with the lefty Ramirez on the mound, might be tough. And the pitch is Stummel squares to bunt and takes a strike. Goering popped up ready to throw behind the runner. Now Adrian Stummel is probably going to bunt. He sacrificed twice during the regular season. But we've seen the Capitals do this before, and you have the top of the order on deck. Stummel, who was a .309 hitter during the regular season, but you would like to avoid a double play and try to get the runner to second base. The pitch, and he does bunt it. It's a beauty. Ramirez fields and throws to first, and Escarra was able to find the bag. That's Marquez Ramirez, Inerbal Marquez Ramirez. I called him by his second name. He fielded the ball along the grass along the first baseline and whirled and threw to first base. Escarra had to do a little dance to try to find the bag, and he was able to do so. And so the sacrifice puts the runner Lankhorst at second base. That's the second sacrifice in this game. Michelli did one in the second inning, and it didn't work as Marquez retired the next couple of hitters. And so now the top of the order, Eric Brink going to try to get a base hit and knock home his buddy Lankhorst. Bonn 1, Heidenheim 0. Marquez comes set, and the pitch is low. 1 ball, no strikes. Brink is 0 for 2. He grounded out and struck out. Marquez has 1, 2, 3 strikeouts in the game. He's only allowed 3 hits. We are in the 5th, 1-0 Bonn. There's 1 out, the runner on second. The pitch is swung on and popped up. Shallow left field. The shortstop Schultz is underneath it. Now drifting back onto the dirt, and he squeezes it for the second out. That'll bring up Chris Goebel. So Goebel, who doubled and then grounded out. He is 1 for 3. He doubled in the first inning and was stranded at second base. He's got a chance to drive home a run. Danny Lankhorst is on second base. There are 2 outs. The pitch is low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Chris Goebel. Goebel, a right-hand hitter, 27 years old. Been with the Bonn Capitals since 2014. Has hit 2 home runs in the playoff series. There's the pitch. And he swings and hits one in the air to deep left field. This is sending Sean Larry back to the track, and he has just enough room to put it away right in front of the wall. Chris Goebel just missed a 2-run home run. He flies out for the 3rd out of the inning, and Bonn does not score. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning in Heidenheim. The Bonn Capitals 1, the Heideköpfe 0. This is the 2019 Bundesliga Finale Game 2, live on Eurobaseball TV. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Bonn 1, Heidenheim 0. Tim Collins with you here. Hope you're enjoying your afternoon wherever you may be. It's been a wet and rainy afternoon here in Heidenheim, but right now the rain is, for the most part, staying away. We are in the bottom of the 5th inning, and Andrew Campbell leads off against Zack Dodson. First pitch breaking ball is in for a strike. 4, 5, and 6. Campbell, Glaser, and Sean Larry. This is an important half inning because it will be an official game after this. The pitch is outside, ball one. Dotson has been phenomenal. He gave up a leadoff single, and since then, nothing else. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Lefty against lefty. Here it comes to Campbell. Broken bat, little floating line drive to Brink on 1 bounce. He throws to first, and his throw is airmailed over Wilson Lee's head. And so a leadoff error puts Andrew Campbell at first base. The barrel of the bat splintered and ended up out by Adrian Stummel at second base. That was some kind of broken bat. Watch this again on the replay. Dodson's pitch running in on the hands of Andrew Campbell. So an E6. That's the way the last half inning began as well. And the Capitals couldn't score. Let's see if the Heideköpfe can take advantage. And so Campbell at first for Ludwig Glaser. Glaser struck out his first time. Dotson has 6 strikeouts. I misspoke before when I said he had 7 consecutive strikeouts. I was misreading my own handwriting. There was a 3 unassisted that looks a lot like a K in my scorecard. So my apologies. Dotson with 6 strikeouts, and he's dealing with Ludwig Glaser, who was one of the strikeout victims. He did strike out 4 consecutive batters at one point, did Zack Dodson. So Campbell, the runner at first base. There you see him taking his lead. And the pitch is low. Good block by Bocelli, ball 1. In the first inning, when Philip Schultz was on first base, he was able to get absolutely no read on Zack Dodson's move. So we will see Campbell, a very short lead. Dodson comes to the plate, and the pitch is grounded back to Dodson. He fires to second in time for 1. The relay to first is in time for 2, a double play. Boy, Kevin Music almost got in the way of the throw, the umpire. That was a heck of a play by Eric Brink. Watch this again on the replay, and that's a big play by the Bonn Capitals. It was a comebacker. First, Dodson had to make sure he had it. Then you see the umpire crossing in the way of the throw, and Brink was able to see it, step on second, and get the relay throw off to first, a 1-6-3 double play, and that eliminates the base runner. And so with 2 down, Sean Larry will step up to the plate. That's what Dodson wanted for sure. And the pitch is a strike. I also misspoke earlier, by the way, when I was talking about Vincent Arons. I assumed he was injured. And thanks to Toby Dietrich for correcting me. There's a swing and a foul ball. Arons is actually serving a suspension. Just to get the facts straight. No balls and 2 strikes to Sean Larry. There are 2 down, nobody on. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Zack Dodson is 1 strike away from making this an official ball game. The Capitals are leading 1-0. Dodson taking his time. And now Larry, who had stepped out is back in. There's the 0-2 pitch. It's low and in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Somebody was asking, is there a live scoring play-by-play? Yes, there is. If you go to the Baseball Bundesliga main website, you can also click on the live e-scoring link and follow along. It's over the Easy Score app. Here's the 1-2. Swung on it, fouled back. Larry has had a lot of weak hacks against Zack Dodson. Left-hander has had him off balance. In his previous at-bat, he had a couple of flailing swings trying to stay alive. Dodson, just under 60 pitches so far. He has been on his game so far in this 1-2. And the left-hander deals. Just missed outside. They appeal, and Larry checked his swing, so the count is even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We are in the bottom of the 5th. There are 2 down, nobody on base. 1-0 Bonn, game 2. Here it comes. A broken bat comebacker. Dodson fielded it while dodging the barrel of the bat and throws to first in time. My goodness, what a great inning by Zack Dodson. And what a level of concentration. We are going to go to the 6th inning here in Heidenheim. Bonn 1, Heidenheim 0. This is game 2 of the Bundesliga Finale, live on Eurobaseball TV. We go to the top of the 6th inning, and Norbel Marquez has been his usual self. He's thrown 72 pitches, 48 of which have been strikes. He's allowed 3 hits. The 1 run that he gave up was an unearned one. He struck out 3, and he's trailing 1-0. And he's going to face 3, 4, and 5 in the order for the Bonn Capitals: Wilson Lee, Maurice Wilhelm, and Daniel Lam Hunt. And here we go. First pitch coming to Wilson Lee. That's inside corner for a strike. Ich habe eine Frage in die YouTube-Chat gesehen. Jemand wollte ein paar Baseballregeln erklärt haben. Vielleicht mache ich ein bisschen was davon im Lauf des Spiels. That pitch was low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Es gibt eine bestimmte Ziele. Der Pitcher versucht, den Ball über den Plate zu werfen. Der Home-Plate-Umpire sagt ja oder nein. Wilson Lee, swing and a miss. Strike 2. Der Schlagmann kriegt bis 3 Strikes oder 4 schlechte Werfe. 4 Bälle außerhalb die Strike Zone. Und dann darf man auf ersten Base. Und ungefähr, wann der Ball ins Spiel gebracht wird, ist es ein Spiel von Tag. There's a pitch outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Wilson Lee. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a little tapper, that one trickling up the third baseline, and it's going to settle on the grass foul. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Man kriegt unbegrenzte Zahl von Foul Balls. Aber swing and a miss wäre aus. I'm not going to spend too much time explaining. I know that the most of you watching certainly know. But hey, we're here to get new fans. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. The pitch from Marquez. Foul to the screen, and that was a very healthy cut by Wilson Lee. Nicht viel gefehlt.
Ein weiterer Foulball hier. Die Zählung bleibt bei 2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes. And that pitch just missed the inside edge, at least from the naked eye. Let's look at the replay. Count is full. Now I'm going to turn the replay off because here comes the pitch. That one is drilled to deep left field, and kiss it goodbye into the trees. A home run for Wilson Lee, and Bonn leads 2-0. At the crack of the bat, the Bonn fans started celebrating. Wilson Lee goes yard against Norbel Marquez, and let's hope I caught enough of that we can look at a replay on it. Indeed I did. This is the last pitch to Wilson Lee. Now that was the previous pitch. I'll just let the replay go. Nope, you're not going to see it. Sorry, folks. Wilson Lee with a home run, and Maurice Wilhelm takes a strike at the knees. It's 2-0 Bonn. And you hear the chants, "Let's go Bonn, let's go Bonn." There's a ground ball deep third, fielded by Glaser behind the bag. He's got a long throw, and he makes it perfectly. So there's 1 down. A few people in the YouTube chat are thanking me for my German exploration, so I'll do a little bit more of that as we go. Das war ein Groundball zum Third Baseman Ludwig Glaser. Wenn der Ball nicht aus der Luft gefangen wird, dann muss den Ball Richtung First Base werfen, bevor der Schlagmann dahin läuft. Das hat erfolgreich gemacht. Jetzt ein Aus. And now Daniel Lam Hunt. And the pitch is a strike, letter high. Erste strike. Now I guess I'll do a little bilingual broadcasting for you. It's 2-0 Bonn. We're in the top of the 6th inning. And swing and a miss. Marquez works very quickly. Even after the home run, he was ready and back on the mound, ready to deliver the ball. Daniel Lam Hunt was swinging for the fences that time. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. A hard ground ball to Glaser at third. He fields, throws to first in time for the second out. Das war genau das Gleiche, was Maurice Wilhelm gemacht hat. Ein Groundball zum Third Baseman Ludwig Glaser hat es sauber aufgenommen und auch ein perfekter Wurf an ersten Base durchgeführt. So now Nick Michelli with 2 down. Das Hauptsache beim Baseball zu verstehen, wann den Ball ins Spiel gebracht wird von den Schlagmann, dann müssen sie so weit wie möglich über die Bases rennen. Nick Michelli, swing and a miss, strike one. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Marquez dropping that change, and Michelli has been way out in front. The noise that you are hearing is coming from the Bonn fans now, as they have been brought to life thanks to the home run off the bat of Wilson Lee. The 0-2 pitch to Michelli. Swung on and missed for strike three. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. At the end of 5.5, we have a dandy brewing here in Heidenheim. Game 2 of the 2019 Bundesliga Finale. It is the Bonn Capitals 2, the Heidenheim Heideköpfe nothing. We will be right back with the bottom of the 6th. Welcome back to Heidenheim, Game 2 of the 2019 Bundesliga Finale. My name is Tim Collins. I hope you're enjoying this broadcast wherever you may be. Thanks for tuning in. I'm doing my best to explain things to the German viewers that want to, and also those of you who are, of course, fans of the game and know how it works already. I hope you just stay tuned. We've got a good one for you. As Zack Dodson is towing the rubber, he has been brilliant. 5 innings, he's only allowed 1 hit, 6 strikeouts, no walks. He's thrown 63 pitches, 41 of which have been strikes. And he's got a 2-0 lead, trying to even this series at 1 game apiece. And he's trying to do it single-handedly. He's going to face Iskara, Gentner, and Liedke. 7-8-9 for the Heideköpfe, bottom of the order. Fernando Iskara, right-hand hitter. He's got some power, and the pitch is way outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. And now it's the Heideköpfe fans with the rattle toys and the drums. Iskara takes ball 2 down and out. Iskara in yesterday's game was on fire. He was 2 for 4 with 4 runs batted in. And Dotson's pitch is lined to left field, a base hit. A solid single played out there by Goebel, who gets it in. So das war ein scharfer Line-Drive durch das Infield, hat gelandet ins Outfield. Das heißt, gibt keine Chance, den Ball zum ersten Base werfen, bevor Iskara erfolgreich da ist. So was nennen wir ein Base-Hit, weil mindestens den ersten Base erreichen könnte. And so he's on first base with a line drive single. That'll bring up Elian Gentner. Gentner, the 17-year-old. And the pitch swung on and missed. This is a best-of-5 series. Heidenheim leads 1-0. And the last 2 years, these two teams have played each other in the finale, and it's gone all 5. 0-1 to Gentner. The pitch high. 2 balls and no strikes to Elian. Iskara is on first base. On the 1-1, Gentner looks at a ball outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Elian Gentner had a wonderful day at the plate yesterday, and he's 0 for 1 today. This has been the complete opposite of yesterday's ball game. We've only been playing for about an hour and 15 minutes, and we're in the bottom of the 6th as Gentner takes ball 3. Well, Dodson, when he's gotten in trouble in the past, it's been due to lack of control or moments where his control will leave him. That happened against Regensburg. He was cruising along. Here's the 3-1. Swing and a miss. He challenged Gentner, and Gentner was late on the fastball. Full count. Runner on first base, Escara. He probably will not be going anywhere. Very short lead as Dodson comes set. And the pitch on the way. A chopper slowly hit up the middle, fielded by Stummel. He flips it to Brank for 1. The relay to first is not in time. Gentner beats it. That was good base running by Escara. He stopped, and that prevented Stummel from tagging him out. So they just get the lead runner. So the force out at second base. Escara is removed for 6, and Gentner reaches on a fielder's choice. So in dem Fall, die Infielders haben die Auswahl, welchen Base denn auszuversuchen. So Adrian Stummel hat den Ball Richtung zweiten Base geworfen, bevor Escara da war. So jetzt Escara ist aus. And Gentner is on first base. And now Simon Liedtke at the plate takes a strike. 1 ball, no strikes. Gentner a little bit better speed on first base. And a throw over there as he is chased back. Nothing in 1. Runner at first base, 1 out the pitch, and Liedtke takes a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. I'd like to give a shout out to Tim Meyer, who's tuned into the broadcast. Tim, wonderful to hear from you. 1 ball and 1 strike. Runner on first base with 1 out. Here it comes. Little chopper to the right of the plate, hugging the first baseline, and it goes foul, grabbed by Lee. That's going to be strike 2. And Liedtke will come back. Gentner will go back to first base. There's 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Zack Dodson has allowed 2 hits in this ball game. And both of them singles. The only one that was really hard hit was Escara's ball to start this inning. That's the hardest ball the Heideköpfe have had against the left-hander, who's now over 70 pitches. He's a guy who has gone well over 130, so he should have plenty left in the tank, and now time is called as Michelli stands up. And now time is called as on-deck hitter Philip Schultz wants to know if they can throw the ball out. I think Philip Schultz was asking Zack Dodson to throw the ball out. And Dodson now throws another ball out. And he's got one he likes. Runner at first base is Elian Gentner. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count to Simon Liedtke. 1 out, the pitch is outside, ball 2. That time, Dodson used a slide step move. Here it comes. And this one is inside and skips away from Michelli. A wild pitch will put Elian Gentner on second base. And that's ball 3. Well, let's take a look at this one on the replay. It was way down inside, and you see there was no chance for Michelli to get a glove on that one. Full count. Dodson has had to work a little bit harder in this inning than he has had to the rest of the game. Elian Gentner, the runner at second base. He reached on a fielder's choice, replacing Escara. And the pitch is fouled right back to the screen, and the count's still 3-2. Liedtke, just like Gentner, will give you a good at bat. He does not take a big swing. He just tries to put the ball in play, tries to fight it off. And in this situation, even with 1 out, his job is to try to hit the ball to the right side after the wild pitch. And if he doesn't get hit, he can at least move the runner to third where he could score on a wild pitch. It's 2-0 Bonn. Bottom of the 6th, 1 out, and Liedtke asked for time this time, and he just was granted it 1 second before Dodson lifted the leg to throw it home, and the cat and mouse game's beginning now to pick up. Full count on Simon Liedke. Dodson comes set. And the pitch. Hit on the ground to the left side. Lamb Hunt spears it, and he tags out the runner. Throws to first in time. A double play. Oh, did he tag him? No, he did not tag him. Schultz avoided the tag. Lamb Hunt is also maybe complaining that he ran out of the dugout. Alex Derhack is going to come out and argue that that Schultz ran out of the baseline. Take another look at that. I thought for sure he got the tag on him. I called it before looking at the umpire, but then the third base umpire, Dirk Beal, signaled safe. You would think that if he did definitely tag him, that Lamb Hunt would be putting on a huge argument. So Liedke grounds out 5-3. There are 2 down, and Philip Schultz is the leadoff hitter. Well, let's play that replay one more time. There's still a conversation between Dirk Beal and Alex Derhack, and now Dirk Beal is going to ask his crew to see what they saw. So the umpires are convening behind the pitcher's mound, and they're going to get together and decide what the call should be. There you see them convene behind the pitcher's mound between the second base area. 4-man crew, Dirk Beal, Kevin Music, Alex Wagner, and Neil Morrison. It was Beal who had the best view, and they're going to call him out. They do see, apparently one of the umpires, or maybe more of the umpires, saw the tag. So that is Gentner, is tagged out. That's going to be a 5 unassisted for the second out, and then the double play is completed. So it is indeed an inning-ending double play. The Heideköpfe, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. We go to the 7th inning, as now Klaus Eckle has some words with the third base umpire, Dirk Beal. I'll play the replay one more time for you guys. This is the last play. First of all, it was bad base running by Gentner. And I think I misnamed him on the play. It was Elian Gentner who ran right into the tag. Daniel Lamb Hunt tagged him. Or maybe they're calling him out for being out of the baseline. Let's look at it one more time. You're not supposed to go more than 3 feet out of the baseline when you're attempting to avoid a tag. And let's see. Well, you see he's kind of at the edge of the grass. But the question is whether or not he actually got the tag on him. But it's going to go as a double play, and the inning is over. We go to the 7th inning here in Heidenheim. The new pitcher is going to be Justin Erasmus. We'll be right back. This is the 2019 Bundesliga Finale, live on Eurobaseball TV. To the top of the 7th inning, and Justin Erasmus, the 29-year-old, originally from South Africa, a Brisbane Bandit, and he is on in relief of Inorbel Marquez. And the first pitch to Kevin Van Meensel is popped foul out of play. That is strike 1, and it lands on the hill. Bottom of the order, 7, 8, 9, Van Meensel, Danny Langhorst, and Adrian Stummel against Erasmus, the right-hander, who in 16 postseason innings has an ERA of 3.38. He, of course, is no stranger to the Capitals. There's a line drive, base hit over the shortstop, Philip Schultz, into left center field. Van Meensel hustling all the way. He's going to try the throw to second base. Not in time. He slides in with a leadoff double. And you hear the thunderous applause of the Bonn fans. Top of the 7th inning begins. Bonn is leading by a score of 2-0. Marquez, for his part, was phenomenal. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run. 2 runs, however, no walks, 4 strikeouts. He threw 88 pitches. And so Kevin Van Meensel, who swung the bat well yesterday, is now 1 for 3 today after striking out twice against Inorbel Marquez. And the Heideköpfe will expect a bunt here. Danny Langhorst is coming up to the plate. Langhorst is 0 for 2, reached on an error. Van Mainzel on second base with a little bit of a risk taking second base as Langhorst is already showing bunt. And the infielders creep up. The bunt goes right back to Erasmus. He has a play at third. He throws, and he's safe. Van Mainzel got under the tag, and he appears to be injured. The throw was a little bit high to the inside of the third base bag, and Glaser tried to apply the tag, and Van Mainzel goes down in a heap. He's on the bag, and he is on one knee right now, and now he is standing up. Time is called. Everybody is safe. That's a fielder's choice. So Langhorst will reach on a fielder's choice. There's first and third, and you hope that Van Mainzel is okay. He is shaking out his, looks like his left ankle. Let's look at that on the replay. It was a pretty close play, but even from where I'm sitting, it definitely looked like there was a chance that the tag was not applied before Van Mainzel got the hand in there. Let's take a look at it again. You see how the throw is up and to the fair side of third, and Glaser had to reach for it. Van Mainzel went underneath him, and it was very close. Van Mainzel was hustling. It was kind of a gamble for Van Mainzel to go. It was a bad bunt, first of all. That's the one place you don't want to bunt it, is right back to the pitcher. When you're trying to bunt it when you're trying to move the runner from second to third, you want to bunt it to the third baseman and make the third baseman field the ball. Let's watch it one more time. The scheduled hitter is going to be Adrian Stummel. Here it is one more time. This is the last play. Oh, is it? Nope, that's not it. And so first and third, a jam for the Heideköpfe as the leadoff double, and now the bunt that was played into a fielder's choice. And the hitter now, Adrian Stummel. You wonder if he might bunt to try to get home a run. The pitch, that's in there for a strike. Stummel today is 0 for 2. Well, they gave Langhorst a single. So a double and a single to start the inning. 5 hits now for the Capitals. Langhorst off first, a very short lead, not going. The pitch is that curve, and it missed a bit high. Erasmus, a former Boston Red Sox farmhand, was signed as an international free agent back in 2007 by the Red Sox. 1-1 pitch and a check on the runner at first, and they got him picked off. Langhorst is picked off first base. And no, let's watch that one on the replay. Oh, that's a huge, huge play as Erasmus is able to basically make up for the wrong decision throwing to third on the bunt. So that's the first out. The count still 1 ball and 1 strike on Adrian Stummel. Now you might look for the squeeze. The infield is up. Here's the pitch. And he swings and fouls into the screen. Strike 2. But if Erasmus can get out of this, that would be some kind of an act. It's been an odd inning. The leadoff double by Van Mainzel. He went to third on the bunt on a close play. It was called safe. And then Langhorst promptly picked off. 1 out, runner at third, infield up. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Stummel. And the curve is swung on and missed. Strike 3. A huge, huge out for Justin Erasmus, as now the infielders can back up and play normal defense. Well, the Capitals, they had a runner at second in the first inning, a runner at second in the second inning. Could not score in either of those. They had, after scoring a run in the fourth inning, they stranded another guy at second in that same inning as Eric Brink chops one foul down the third baseline. There have not been a lot of opportunities to score for either team in this game, and you have to kind of figure the way Dotson is pitching, the Heideköpfe desperately need to prevent more runs. Bonn Capitals would love to give Zack Dodson a couple more runs to work with, give him some breathing room. 0-1 on Eric Brink. Here's the pitch. Curveball in the dirt, blocked by Simon Göring, ball 1. But we are witnessing a very, very entertaining ball game today. One ball and one strike. The pitch. Fastball missed inside and low, ball 2. 2-1. Erasmus, a guy who needs to change speeds. He's got an excellent curveball, but if he's not throwing it for strikes, then the hitters can sit on that fastball. Brink up there with a 2-1 count. 2 outs, Van Mainzel at third. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Might have been a cutter away, and it was fading away from Brink, and he chased it. Two balls and 2 strikes. There are 2 outs, Van Mainzel on third. What a ball game. The pitch on the way, curveball, and he just got a piece and tapped it foul. A little bit of rain is beginning to fall here, just ever so slightly. The wind picks up. We are in the top of the 7th inning, a 2-0 Bonn Capitals lead. 2-2 on Brink with Van Mainzel off third and 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, he got him, a high fastball. And Erasmus, after the pickoff, strikes out the next 2 batters, and Bonn does not score. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. It's time to stretch in Heidenheim. The Bonn Capitals 2, the Heideköpfe 0. This is the 2019 Bundesliga Finale, live on Eurobaseball TV. To the bottom of the 7th inning, Zack Dodson on the mound with the Bonn Capitals leading the Heideköpfe 2-0. Dotson through 6 innings has been very stingy. 2 hits and 6 strikeouts. That's it. There's been 1 error rather. He's thrown only 79 pitches. 49 of the pitches he's thrown have been strikes. He has been wonderful, and he will deal for the 3rd time in the game with the top of the order. Philip Schultz, Simon Göring, and Mr. Gary Owens. Philip Schultz singled to start the game and then was caught stealing and then struck out, and he looks at strike 1 on the first pitch of the 7th inning. Dotson, last inning, pitched around a leadoff base hit. There's the breaking ball down and low inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dotson has been on his game, the native San Antonian. He's pitched 2 complete games in his last 2 starts, and you know he wants one here. This pitch is low and outside. 2-1. Dotson, who turned 29 earlier this week, trying to give himself a birthday present in the Bundesliga Finale. And that fastball just missed outside, ball 3, 3-1. The Heideköpfe would love to have a man on for Simon Göring. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Schultz was trying to take a stride towards first base. Dotson going to make a 3-2 count. This could be pivotal. You want to keep the first guy off if you're him. And he misses outside with ball 4. That is the first walk of the ball game. And Philip Schultz is now on first base. Last time he was on first base, he could not get a read on the move of Zack Dodson, and he was thrown out stealing. You see that fastball was well off the plate. So Simon Göring representing the tying run with Schultz on first base. Göring is 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. Let's see what the Heideköpfe decide to do here. And the pitch to Göring is a fastball that missed high and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, the noise picks up. The wind is picking up. We're getting to the tumultuous part of the ball game where the knuckles get a little bit whiter and you start biting your fingernails a little bit more. And now Michelli asks for time. Philip Schultz is the runner on first base. As far as stolen bases go, Schultz in the regular season was 9 out of 10. And the pitch. Göring swings and misses. And he just got a piece of it, foul tipped it. And the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. There's nobody out. It's starting to drizzle here at Heidenheim, but that's not phasing the energy level of anybody in the crowd. Philip Schultz on first base expands his lead ever so slightly. Dotson from the stretch. A long hold, and now he deals. Göring takes a fastball under the hands inside. 2 balls and a strike. Göring, the tying run at the plate. Simon had 3 home runs during the regular season. This would be a situation where he might go for one. That pitch is way high and outside, ball 3. Dotson appeared to have that pitch slip out of his hand ever so slightly. 3 balls and a strike. Schultz on first base. Dotson now behind the mound. Looked like he was tying his shoe. Now the 29-year-old Texan, former 4th-round draft pick of the Pirates, trying to work his way through the latter third of this ball game. The pitch on the way to Simon Göring. Line drive, diving catch by Eric Brank, taking away a base hit from Simon Göring. Brank diving to his right, caught that ball about 2 feet before it hit the grass. That was ticketed for the outfield for sure, and it was hit so hard you never know if it might have scooted past Chris Goebel. That was a great play by Eric Brank. 1 down, watch the replay. And that, for the moment, silences the Heidenheim fans, and now Alex Derhack wants to come out and have a quick chat with Dotson. This is most likely regarding the man coming to the plate, Mr. Gary Owens. Owens today is 0 for 2. He struck out looking and grounded out to first. Now that was a spectacular diving play by Eric Brank, the shortstop, who yesterday had an error in the game. And it was one of those moments in the game yesterday where you just had the feeling the Bonn Capitals were very crestfallen. It was a debilitating loss yesterday, but they have come back and played a whale of a game today thanks to the strong pitching of Zack Dodson. And Norbert Marquez was great for the Heideköpfe, but Dodson has been just a bit better. Wilson Lee has homered for the Capitals. The other run scored on an error after a Daniel M. Hunt single. And now Gary Owens has the tying run. Schultz on first base, the pitch. There's a big chopper to short. Brank on the second bounce goes to second for the force out. Stummel with no relay throw, and they retire Philip Schultz 6-4 on the force, and Gary Owens is retired on 1 swing of the bat. He reaches on a fielder's choice. And that'll bring up Andrew Campbell. Now Dodson, you're always relieved when you're able to get through one of the power hitters in this lineup without having to expend a lot of energy. He threw 1 pitch, and Owens chased it and grounded it to Brank, who had to wait for the second bounce. That was not particularly easy. And now Andrew Campbell looks at a pitch low for ball 1. Campbell today is 0 for 2. He reached on an error. And grounded out. Lefty against lefty. The pitch. That's a strike on the outside corner. Campbell the tying run. Dodson Comes set. Owens, the runner at first. Not going the pitch. Check swing on a breaking ball. It missed outside, and Campbell did not go around. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. This ball game is starting to ratchet up in terms of tension. You know the Bonn Capitals and their fans are starting to clench their fists ever so slightly as they try to count down the outs before the end of this game. There are 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. The 2-1 pitch coming to Campbell, and he swings through it. 2-2. Campbell way out in front. Excellent pitch by Dotson. Zack Dodson through 6 2/3, only 1 walk. He's thrown now over 90 pitches. I mentioned before, he's good for 130. The 2-2, fastball up and in, and now a slight point of interest is that the runner Gary Owens, with a full count and 2 outs, he will be going on the pitch. However, Wilson Lee going to keep holding him on. See if he can get any kind of read on Dodson's move. There's the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Zack Dodson pitches his way through the 7th inning without allowing a run despite a leadoff walk. And we are going to inning number 8 here in Bonn, in Heidenheim rather, and the Bonn Capitals leading by a score of 2-0. This is the 2019 Bundesliga Finale live on Eurobaseball TV. Well, folks, welcome back to Heidenheim. We are going to the top of the 8th inning. Justin Erasmus out for his 2nd inning of work. He pitched through a jam last inning, and he's going to face 2, 3, and 4 for the Bonn Capitals, who lead this game by a score of 2-0, trying to even up the best-of-5 series at 1 game apiece. Chris Goebel steps up to the plate, and the first pitch is inside, ball 1. Chris Goebel is 1 for 3. He doubled off of Inorbal Marquez back in the 1st inning and then was stranded. After Goebel, Wilson Lee and Maurice Wilhelm, the 1-0. Breaking ball, that one drops over the outside edge. 1 ball and 1 strike from Erasmus. Goebel, a right-hand hitter, electing to go without the batting gloves. 1-1. And the pitch comes in low. 2 balls and a strike from Erasmus to Goebel. Infield is straight away, as is the outfield. Goebel is kind of a gap-to-gap type hitter. The 2-1, pulled foul down the line, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The on-deck hitter Wilson Lee homered back in the 6th inning. That was Marquez's last inning of work. That's the only earned run Inorbal Marquez allowed in this game, but Bonn has a 2-0 lead. The 2-2, breaking ball on a pitch in the dirt. They're going to appeal if he went around, and yes, he did, as Goering applies the tag. That's a strikeout. Chris Goebel is out, number 1. Take another look at this on the replay. It looked to the naked eye like he went. And Alex Wagner answering the appeal saying, yes, he did. So 1 down, and that will bring up Wilson Lee. Wilson Lee grounded to short, singled, and then scored on the error, and then hit a home run. And he takes a pitch inside. So he has scored both runs for the Bonn Capitals in this game. Right-hand hitter with power. Here's the 1-0. That's low. 2 balls and no strikes to Lee. There it comes. Swing and a miss. You know, it should be noted that Wilson Lee, who was such an integral part of the Bonn Capitals' rise to prowess in the Bundesliga North, was not on the Capitals last year when they won the championships. He was with Zolingen. Here's the 2-1. Fly ball hit off the end of the bat down the right field line in foul territory, and Andrew Campbell can't get there. So that's going to be strike 2. And Wilson Lee, who joined the Bonn Capitals in 2015 and was an immediate star as a two-way player, winning all sorts of accolades. He just dominated the Bundesliga for the seasons of 2015, 2016. Tapered off somewhat in 2017, but was still very good. And then 2018, he went to the Zolingen Alligators, and now he takes a pitch up high, ball 3-2. And, you know, for him, I'm not going to put words in his mouth, but I imagine it must have been bittersweet to watch the Bonn Capitals win the championship without him. And here he is again, trying to help them repeat. Swing and a miss, strike 3. As Erasmus strikes him out. Lee was trying to go downtown on that one. 2 down. And that will bring up the number 4 hitter, Maurice Wilhelm, as you take a look at that pitch that Wilson Lee was not holding anything back on. Erasmus has struck out 4 in an inning and 2/3. Now Maurice Wilhelm. And the slow curve stays high, 1 ball and no strikes. Wilhelm is 0 for 3 today. He is the guy that they would call on should Zack Dodson falter at any point in this game. Here's the 1-0. There's a fly ball foul, really slapped off to the right and into the trees. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. This ball game was started an hour and 13 minutes roughly late. We started at 3:13. It is now 5:08, so we're still under 2 hours. And it's a good thing because, you know, there's still more rain in the forecast. Right now the sky is pretty bright as Wilhelm shoots 1 foul for a second time. 1-2 to Maurice Wilhelm. It has been all about the left-handed pitching today. Norbert Marquez was great for 6 innings for Heidenheim, but Zack Dodson has been even better. Marquez removed after 6 in favor of Erasmus, who is 1 strike away from pitching his 2nd scoreless inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here it comes to Maurice Wilhelm. There's a tapper pulled foul down the 3rd base line, so we'll do it again. Still 1-2. Wilhelm, the MVP of the Bundesliga North 3 years running. That's for his prowess as both a hitter and a pitcher. Been such a valuable person to have on the roster of the Bonn Capitals. The 1-2 pitch coming from Justin Erasmus right now. Fouled back, and Wilhelm had a very, very good cut at that one. Just missed it. The outfield is shading Wilhelm around towards right field. Gary Owens in center is maybe 5 steps to the right of dead center field. Campbell in right is playing towards the line. Larry in left playing way off the line. The infield is straight away on Maurice. And the 1-2 pitch coming from Erasmus. That's outside. Looked like Justin dropped down a little bit sidearm on that one. Wilhelm with a 2-2 count. There are 2 outs and nobody on. We are in the top of the 8th, 2-0 Bonn. And the curve, called strike 3 on the inside corner. Justin Erasmus strikes out inside, and he struck out 4 consecutive Bonn Capitals, nothing across the board. We're going to the bottom of the 8th inning in Heidenheim. The Bonn Capitals 2, the Heidenheim Heideköpfe 0. This is game 2 of the Bundesliga finale, live on Eurobaseball TV. Welcome back to Heidenheim. My name is Tim Collins. I'd like to thank you for tuning in, no matter where you're watching from in the world. And if you've been with us for the past hour and a half or so, you've been witnessing a very exciting and tense ball game. It is the Capitals 2 and the Heideköpfe nothing, as the Caps trying to rebound from yesterday's Game 1 loss. And Zack Dodson deals a strike to Ludwig Glaser, the number 5 hitter in the order. Glaser, Sean Larry, and Fernando Escarra. Dodson, through 7 innings, has allowed only 2 hits and a walk, 7 strikeouts. His next pitch will be his 99th, and it's a curveball right on the back door. Strike 2 to Glaser. Glaser is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a 1-6-3 double play grounded into. Dodson looking very cool, calm, and collected on the mound. He starts his windup and the pitch. Swung on, and Glaser just got a piece. A very defensive swing from Ludwig. Dodson, I mentioned his last 2 starts against Regensburg and Zolingen. He lost 1-0 decisions. He had 14 strikeouts in both of those starts, went the distance, and came away with the L. Today, he's gotten 2 runs of support as Glaser takes a pitch down low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Dodson has been up to the task so far. There is no activity in the Bonn bullpen. The 1-2 pitch to Glaser. There's a fly ball to center field. Van Mainsel going back. He's got it measured and makes the catch shy of the warning track. That is out number 1. Glaser flies to center field. And that will bring up Sean Larry. If you're wondering about Dodson's previous pitch counts, he's gone over 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, and twice he went over 130, once he went over 140, so he is good to go. And he deals a strike to Sean Larry. This is the Bundesliga. This is not the MLB where pitchers will be get removed after 100 pitches. It's a little bit old school in this league. Here's the 0-1 to Larry, swing and a miss. Sean Larry has flailed away at that off-speed pitch at least 3 times in this game. Dodson got to tip his cap. He is executing his pitches. He is way out in front of Sean Larry, 0-2. Larry is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. 2 of the 7 for Dodson. The 0-2. A chopper to the shortstop, Brink, who is positioned perfectly. He fields and throws to first, and Larry beat it out. You can see that developing. Brink was very deep, and he waited for the ball to come to him, and Larry was running as hard as he could all the way down the line, and even with the naked eye, it looked like he simply beat the throw. So that is a base hit, an infield single for Sean Larry, and that'll bring up the tying run in a guy who does have home run power, Fernando Escarra. Escarra had a home run in the playoffs, did not have a home run in the regular season. And the pitch to him is lined into right center field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. And suddenly with 2 outs, with 1 out, here come the Heideköpfe, 2 singles. Escarra, a little looper over the second baseman Stummel's head. Wasn't hit all that hard, but it was hit hard enough to get over the infield. And that'll bring up Elian Gentner. And so now you have the bottom of the order. Alex Derhack is going to come out and have a chat with Zack Dodson. You remember Dodson did have the 1 game in Regensburg where everything caved in on the Bonn Capitals in the 8th inning. That was in the playoffs. He was cruising right along, had a 4-run lead, I believe. And then it slipped out from under them, but he's in a different situation here. I think in that game he had already had a couple of walks to his credit. Here, he gives up an infield single and a bloop single, so it's not as if the Heideköpfe were barreling up the pitches, but he's in a jam nonetheless. As Elian Gentner, with 1 out, not an ideal bunting situation, and Gentner swinging away, cuts and misses, strike 1. You have the 8 and 9 hitters up. Gentner and Simon Liedke. Klaus Eckle putting trust in his young players that they can get a base hit here and keep the thing moving. Larry at second, at Skara at first, and the pitch is outside. Gentner yesterday had 2 hits in 4 at-bats. He also drew a walk. He had some tough at-bats, fouling off a number of pitches. Simon Liebke the same way, who is on deck. So Dotson's going to have to earn this. The 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Gentner pulling off that outside fastball. You have a 29-year-old who's experienced in the high minors going against the 17-year-old kid. 1-2, runners leading first and second. There is 1 out in the inning. Dotson comes set. Drum roll, please. And instead, Dodson lifted the leg and checked on Larry, and Larry almost got caught leaning the wrong way. However, Brank and Stummel were both far away from the second base bag. That's not a bad idea. The 1-2 pitch. A pop fly off the end of the bat, foul territory. Wilson Lee racing over near the Heideköpfe bullpen, and it is out of play. So Gentner stays up there with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. 105 pitches now for Zack Dodson. Elian Gentner with a 1-2 count. Dodson taking his time, and now he comes set after getting the sign from Michelli. Runners lead first and second. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss! And the ball dropped, but it doesn't matter. First base is occupied. Gentner strikes out, and that's a huge out number 2 for Zack Dodson. That is his 8th strikeout. And that'll bring up Simon Liebke. Got him on that, looked like a slider or a cutter on the inside part, and Gentner swung right over the top. So 2 outs and 2 on. Simon Liebke at the plate. You know he would love to turn the lineup over. The first pitch in for a strike. Bonn 2, Heidenheim nothing, as the Capitals are trying to even this series. Dotson trying to do it all himself. Still no activity in the Caps bullpen. 0-1, the pitch. Just missed outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. The shortstop Brink is holding somewhat close to the bag to try to keep Larry close at second. You have Larry at second base, Escara at first, the tying run. 1 ball and 1 strike to count on Simon Liebke. And he swings through a high fastball, 1-2. Dotson a strike away from ending the threat. And pushing this thing even closer to an even series. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here it comes. And he just missed with a backdoor slider, it looked like. That was a very close pitch. Take a look at that on the replay. Yeah, you're kind of blocked by the second base umpire, Kevin Music. The target was set up outside. 2-2 to Simon Liebke. Here it comes. A line drive caught by Wilson Lee, the first baseman, and the inning is over. Zack Dodson pitches through the 8th without allowing a run. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. To the 9th inning we go here in Game 2 of the Bundesliga Finale. The Bonn Capitals 2, the Heidenheim Heideköpfe nothing. This is Euro Baseball TV, and we will be right back. As we go to the top of the 9th inning, the Bonn Capitals leading the Heidenheim Heideköpfe by a score of 2-0. The Heideköpfe have made yet another pitching change. And that is the 40-year-old right-hander Pete Sikaris, otherwise known as Panayotis Sikaris. He's from Niles, Illinois, but he's a citizen of Greece, and that means he's a former Olympian. Played for the Greek national team back in 2004. He was also with the Heidenheim Heideköpfe when they won the championship in 2015. And he's a veteran of the Detroit Tigers minor league system, made it up to AAA. He's also played in the Northern League, played in Dominican Republic. He's pitched in Italy, and he's a world traveler baseball player, and he's an experienced veteran, and he's the third Heideköpfe pitcher, and he's going to deal with Daniel Lamhunt, Nick Michelli, and Kevin Van Mainzel. And the first pitch is a little floater into left field, a base hit for Daniel Lamhunt. First pitch swinging. Hit it off the fists, and it floats over the head of the shortstop, Philip Schultz, and nestles into the grass in left field. Lamhunt has 3 hits and 4 at-bats today. He is standing on first base. The Capitals have 2 runs on 6 hits. They've made 1 error. The Heideköpfe no runs. 4 hits. They've made 3 errors, excuse me. And you know, Bonn would love to get an insurance run here. Nick Michelli at the plate, squares around, and he bunts it to the first base side, gloved by Sikaris. He underhands it to lead kid covering, and the sacrifice pushes Lamhunt to second base. That's the second time Michelli has sacrificed today, so he has executed both times. He's officially 0 for 2. There's 1 away in the inning now. And now Kevin Van Mainzel, who is 1 for 3 with a double and 2 strikeouts, will step up to the plate. Simon Göring out there to chat with Pete Sikaris for a minute. Like to give a shout out to Kathy Dotson, Zack Dodson's mom, tuning in. Thanks for tuning in and joining the broadcast. This has certainly been an entertaining ball game. Kevin Van Mainzel with Daniel Lamhunt at second base and 1 out. The pitch is fastball outside, ball 1. The Bonn Capitals have seen Pete Sikaris before. It was back in 2016, I believe. No, I think it was 2015. Sikaris struck out 15 Bonn Capitals in a game. There's a drive to deep left center field. Way back goes Larry. That ball 1 hops against the wall. Daniel Lamhunt is going to walk home, and Kevin Van Mainzel has made it 3-0 Bonn with his second double of the ball game. Boy, he really unloaded on a pitch that was down the pipe. Let's take a look at this pitch from Pete Sikaris. Van Mainzel, who had a home run yesterday, looked virtually identical to the home run, did this double, but he didn't pull it quite as much, and it 1-hopped the wall. Sean Larry had no chance to get it, and Bonn leading 3-0. The first pitch is a ball to Danny Langhorst. So a single, a sacrifice, and a double, and Bonn leads 3-0. The pitch from Sikaris is a fastball high. 2 balls and no strikes. Langhorst is 1 for 3. He singled in 3 trips, also reached on an error. He was then picked off. That single was the bunt in which Erasmus threw to third. The pitch. There's a high pop-up behind the plate, out of play, strike 1, 2-1 the count. We had a ball game that we weren't sure we would be able to get in, and now it's only about 2 hours and 10 minutes old, and we're in the top of the 9th inning. 2-1 the count on Danny Langhorst. Sikaris from the belt. Van Mainzel leading off second base. The pitch. That's a breaking ball. Missed the outside corner. 3-1. This series will travel to Bonn next weekend for games 3 and 4. The Capitals trying to make sure that it's a 1-1 tie. There's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Langhorst tied up inside, and the count 3-2. Right now, Van Mainzel with 2 doubles and an RBI. He had a home run in yesterday's game, so he's been a bright spot for the Bonn Capitals all around. The 3-2 pitch, chopper down the third baseline, foul. We will do it again. And Van Mainzel himself is a good story. As a youngster, was diagnosed with a rheumatic condition and had to undergo several eye operations. And he had recovered so well from that by the time he was 15, he was already on the national youth team. And was a hero in the finale last year. The 3-2 pitch, low and outside, ball 4. So Lankhorst draws a walk, and now for the Capitals, they have first and second and only one out for Adrian Stummel. But getting back to Van Mainzel, he has really turned himself into a good ball player, patrolling center field, coming up with some big hits. He's displayed some power. It's one of the joys of watching Bundesliga baseball. You get to see a lot of players that you can see them develop before your eyes. And Kevin Van Mainzel is one of those, as is Lankhorst, and here comes Adrian Stummel with one out, and he looks at a breaking ball on the outside corner, 0-1. Runners on first and second, that's Lankhorst at first. And Mainzel is on second base, there at the top of your picture. Pete Sakaris with one out in the inning. He's got a 0-1 count on Adrian Stummel. Infield back looking for 2, 3-0 Bonn. And the fastball paints the outside corner, 0-2. No activity in the Bonn bullpen. You know what that means. That means Mr. Dotson is going to come out and try to finish what he started. He's got an extra run with which to work. The 0-2. As a chopper to the left side, Schultz goes to second for 1. The relay throw to first is in time. A 6-4-3 double play. And the Caps are going to have to settle for 1 run. Pete Sakaris gets out of the jam without allowing much further damage. But a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning here in Heidenheim. The Bonn Capitals 3, the Heidenheim Heideköpfe 0. This is the 2019 Bundesliga Finale live on Eurobaseball TV. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Bonn Capitals leading the Heideköpfe by a score of 3-0. They are 3 outs away from feeling a whole heck of a lot better about things after yesterday's drubbing at the hands of the Heideköpfe. If they can get the next 3 outs, they will go back to Bonn next weekend tied at 1 in a best-of-5 series. Zack Dodson has thrown 8 innings. He's thrown 115 pitches. He's allowed 4 hits, a walk, and 8 strikeouts. And he has to deal with the top of the order. Philip Schultz, Simon Göring, and Gary Owens. 4th time through the lineup. And the first pitch to Schultz is grounded on 1 bounce to Daniel Lamhunt at 3rd. He sets and throws. 1 pitch, 1 out. That is huge. It was hit pretty hard by Philip Schultz. He went up there looking to drive one, and he pounded it right into the ground. And it reached Daniel Lamhunt, who was at the edge of the grass. Had to leap up a little bit to make the play, but he set his feet and made a perfect strike throw to first base. And there's 1 away. The Heideköpfe need a couple of bloops and a blast. Zack Dodson is already on the mound, ready and waiting for Göring to get in the box. Simon trying to take his time and control the pacing. He steps in, and the left-hander winds, and now time is called. Now the first pitch to Göring. Missed a little bit low, 1 ball, no strikes. Simon is 0 for 3. His last at bat could be one of the big turning points in the game. He hit a line drive, and Eric Brink made a diving catch on it. That fastball is a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. He came up with a runner at first, leading off the 7th inning as he fouls that one away, 1-2. and he hit a rocket, and Eric Brink had enough time to react and dive to his right and snare it before it got into the outfield. That whole inning could have completely changed. Dotson was then able to retire Gary Owens and Andrew Campbell and squelch any thoughts of a rally. The 1-2, a fly ball, punched foul out of play off to the right. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the 9th, 3-0 Bonn. Dodson looking in for the sign from Michelli. Now he starts his wind. The pitch. There's a line shot caught by Adrian Stummel, the second baseman. Stummel, a relatively easy play. It wasn't hit all that hard, maybe towards the handle of the bat, off the bat of Simon. And that is out number 2. And here comes Gary Owens. Zack Dodson and the Bonn Capitals are 1 out away from evening this series. And going back to Bonn with the home field advantage. It's a best of 5, and you know Bonn's going to be a rockin' and a rollin'. The pitch to Owens is upstairs. I wouldn't be surprised to see Owens bunt here. The Heideköpfe need base runners, and the infield is way back. The 1-0. Although Gary was more apt to want to hit it out of the ballpark. The pitch is low. 2 balls and no strikes to count. And that pitch just nips the outside corner, 2-1. Dotson has been phenomenal. 4 hits, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts so far. The 2-1 pitch. Missed outside, ball 3. Here are the Heideköpfe fans. Some of them are standing. The Bonn fans ready to erupt with joy. Dotson steps off the mound. Three balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th, 3-0 Caps the pitch. And the fastball is outside, ball 4, Owens. A glimmer of hope for the Heideköpfe as they have a 2-out base runner. That will bring up Andrew Campbell. Tying run is now in the on-deck circle for the Heideköpfe. Gary Owens will not be going anywhere. Andrew Campbell is 0 for 3. He has grounded out, reached on an error, and struck out against the left-hander Zack Dodson. They're not going to hold Owens on at first base. And the pitch to Campbell. That's a good curve on the inside corner, 0-1. Dotson deals 0-1. Swing and a miss, and the pitch gets through Michelli. Owens reaches second base. I think that's defensive indifference. Nothing in 2. Michelli claiming it's a foul ball, and in fact it is a foul ball. Never mind. So Owens will go back to first base. I thought that it was missed as well, but it was indeed a foul tip. So Gary Owens is at first base. That, however, is not important. The important thing is that Zack Dodson is a strike away from pitching a 4-hit shutout to even this series at 1 game apiece. Nothing in 2. Here it comes. Just missed outside. Fastball a little bit high, maybe a little outside. That's a tough one to take for Andrew Campbell. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th, 3-0 Bonn. And there's a line drive served into left field, a base hit. And Andrew Campbell ensures that the Heideköpfe will indeed, at the very least, bring the tying run to the plate in the person of Ludwig Glaser, someone who does have occasional home run power. Pitch was a fastball tailing down and away. Not much Campbell could do with that pitch other than serve it into left field. That is exactly what he did. And now the tying run steps up to the plate. Ludwig Glaser, 0 for 3. And the wind picks up. The pitch is inside for ball 1. And now Maurice Wilhelm is throwing in the bullpen for the Bonn Capitals. 130 pitches for Zack Dodson, trying to get that final out. The 1-0 to Glaser. A ground ball back through the middle. Stummel fields, and he flips it to first in time, and the ball game is over. Stummel looked to second for a moment and realized he had no play and had to get off a good, strong throw to first base, and he did so. That was no easy play. It looked for a minute also like the ball might go into center field. However, Zack Dodson has pitched a 5-hit shutout over the Heidenheim Heideköpfe. The final score, the Bonn Capitals 3, the Heideköpfe nothing. 3 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for Bonn. No runs, 5 hits, 3 errors for the Heidenheim Heideköpfe. This series is evened 1 game apiece. And for those of you who've been tuning in, I'd like to thank you for watching. My name is Tim Collins. You can follow me on Twitter at EuroBaseballTV. You can also like my YouTube channel, which is all linked at the website EuroBaseballTV.com. The highlights will be uploaded later. You can find everything there. And until next time, I would like to thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's ballgame. Once again, the final score, the Bonn Capitals 3, the Heidenheim Heideköpfe nothing. A complete game, 5-hit shutout by Zack Dodson. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a wonderful Sunday.
Ein Applaus hier.